Welcome to the Den, the Dingus Den.
Welcome to the Dingus Den for a brand new episode of the Mutant Club, where I'm joined by fellow mutant. Oh my gosh, Steve. How are you doing? Just came to me off the top of the head there. Anyway, I hope you're doing well.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, we haven't quite discovered what our mutant powers are yet, but we're here to talk about the new issue of Uncanny X-Men that just came out. Issue 1, written by Gail Simone. And yeah, we're going to get right into it. Artist David Marquez and colorist Matthew Wilson. And yeah, this is such a really nice read. Anything before we get into it?
No, I'm ready to jump in.
Yeah, let's
book.
get right into this. Where it begins in Manchester, New York, of where we see what was Xavier's school for talented youngsters, where we see Dr. Ellis and her gang company sort of tour around the mansion. She's wanting anything burned. She's trying to strip down any art, take anything of value, and just demands for each room to be transformed into a cell, to be turned into this prison of sorts. And then she goes into the Cerebro room. She's wanting that dismantled as well. And then we see this first prisoner arrive. We then jump ahead in time, technically, but it says 24 hours ago, where we see this scene. And this is a big highlight for being the issue, was we got this really nice scene with Wolverine saying goodbye to one of his past buddies from one of the wars. I don't think they said exactly which one it was from, but yeah. But anyway, you then cut to the present day later, where Wolverine's there waiting at the Pyramid of the Sun, where Rogue and Gambit then appears. They're at this pyramid, they confront this big dragon thing. I don't think did this have a name? I don't think it had a name.
It did.
I don't remember it.
A second, it was in my notes.
All right. Well, anyway, they go wake up this big dragon that has a name that I couldn't figure out what it was. And anyway, you have this awesome fight scene, it was like 4 or 5 pages of them just fighting this big dragon. I absolutely love all the art here during
Soldering.
What is it?
Soldering.
I'm not going to
Soldering.
Soldering. Okay. Well, anyway, they fight Soldering, brilliant art, and they then manage to blind it, and then Gambit offers, as Gambit does, sort of his trade, saying that, well, like, all right, he's going to take this eye thing that they came to get. However, he was like, well, we're going to take this, but we'll in return give you some place you can rest. Being like, go to Antarctica. None of the humans go there anyway, And so just go there, and Soldering's like, yeah, that'd be nice. I could turn into like an ice dragon. But then also says that it would be back in a year, while also giving this warning saying that something ruinous is coming in their future. And so the heroes then start leaving. Rogue then gets a call from Cyclops saying that Kurt, aka Nightcrawler, is requesting to meet up with them. We get this sort of like a little interlude in the middle of it. In Central Oregon, where we see this deer mutant sort of person is being hunted, and then it ends with like these big hands of something coming at her as she's screaming. Anyway, cut over to University of Mississippi Medical Center, where we see Wolverine, Gambit, and Rogue meet up with Nightcrawler, and that's where they meet a huge fan, this little child boy with cancer. With cancer. The child then holds Rogue's hand, saying like, you're my favorite X-Men, and then we see him say all of a sudden, like, they're coming, you have to help them. One of them is the Endling, and he dies. and we get this whole moment as well where Rogue just immediately starts feeling guilty over that happening. The heroes then travel to Louisiana, where they meet up at Marcus's house. I'm not. Do you know is this Marcus character anybody of importance that you knew beforehand?
Let me. It's not somebody that I'm familiar with.
Okay. I'm guessing maybe it could be somebody from Gambit's backstory because
Could be, yeah.
you know, they're at Louisiana, Gambit's home state there. Anyway,
Right.
we then see the heroes together around the campfire, and they have a great conversation here as well. You know, questioning like, are they really still X-Men? You know, carry on. You know what Xavier started. Like, what are they really to do next? You know, Wolverine says he isn't going to go back to being an X-Men, but as he believes nobody can fill in Xavier's chair. And so, but Rogue wants to continue to help those like that are in need, like what was shown with the kid. Wolverine then all of a sudden senses something is coming at them, and then that's where a group of teenagers wanting their help says she's coming for us. And that's the end of the issue. Other than we also got a little bonus scene where we sort of get this narration about how there's replacements that always come back, and reference to, I took it as they were referencing the X-Men there, but this narrator was also talking about how there's the pillars of that Charles built and knows exactly what they are, wants to tear them down, but then also ends by saying that they love him. I have no idea who this person is, but it's very interesting narration there. So yeah, thoughts?
This was a really good book from beginning to end. Writing was great. Artwork was great. Color was good. Like, everything was a perfect marriage. So this is the first Uncanny X-Men written by Gail Simone. Gail Simone is a name that I know I have heard, but I can't remember for the life of me what of hers I've read.
Oh, she hasn't. She's written a lot, but I mean, she's just one of those things, writers where, she's worked on a lot that I don't know if I've necessarily read though, just because not necessarily stuff I rush to reading.
Yeah,
but I know she's definitely earned a name for herself. That's for sure. But
yeah,
I think she did a really good job here understanding all the characters for sure.
Oh, definitely. She is. She has done a fantastic job.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
I mean, she's done. The thing is, she's done. She's got the action down really well. But even aside from that, she's got kind of the she's got some like heart to her writing.
Yeah.
They didn't just come, you know, it's like they've got some action, but there's also some like emotional points to it.
Yeah, what I got most from this issue was the character building, emotional moments with this. As I was mentioning earlier, I really like the scene of Wolverine saying goodbye to one of his old buddies from the army.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a nice one page. It hits you right in the feels of being like, holy crap, you know? Whenever you're somebody that's to a lot kind of immortal, right? Like, you know, because he could regenerate. He was lived through so many wars, and just seeing him say goodbye to somebody like that is really touching. Just to spend that one page on it, and to be the introduction to Wolverine in this as well, cutting after or the setup that we got with Dr. Ellis, which speaking of Dr. Ellis, it's interesting that, you know, she was set up at the end of the last era. I don't haven't read it, so I don't know anything about her setup there, as she apparently
Yeah,
made her debut in the X-Men Free Comic Book Day that I don't remember her saying in, as well as also being in the last issue of X-Men.
yeah. Like I was saying before we started recording, I'd have to go back and I have read that issue, but her character was clearly not very memorable because I don't really remember anything about her.
Yeah.
And I didn't really read it that long ago, so that's a testament to the fact that she wasn't very memorable. But yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough.
I mean, I probably have to go back and reread it anyway because if she's going to be a mainstay
Oh yeah.
what's going on, I am probably going to want to know who she is.
Yeah, I was reading about some of her background just before. I didn't fully catch all the details, but she's like definitely tied to some big company here, and it's interesting because she has this whole scheme going on with building a prison. Interesting that she's making Xavier School a prison. Nice twist there of what's happening there, I think. Connecting it back to, X-Men stuff there. But what did you think? Who do you think that prisoner is? Do you have any idea who that prisoner could be?
Let me look at that page again.
I mean, I don't think there's really any clear indication from it of who it could be, because it's just somebody
Um,
costumed, for all we know, that's the prisoner uniform, So I don't
you know what? I'm gonna go with Professor X.
think it's going to be Professor X there. Interesting. That would be very interesting.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna have to go with.
I don't
I'm gonna have
know,
to go
but
with
like I
Professor
don't feel like it'd make that much sense though if he's part of that council thing, as we talked about in our X-Men video. Go back and check that out if you haven't watched. Link down
Oh
below.
yeah, that's right.
And so, because he appeared in the council there, um, and plus we got
Hmm,
that end bonus scene, which we'll get back to in a little bit, but that references
yeah,
tearing down Xavier.
yeah.
It'd be very interesting as well to see where that goes. But yeah, I don't think there's really a good clear indicator of who this prisoner is, because it's very well hidden, I feel like. Makes you guessing. I mean, there's a lot of heroes that it won't be because they're in other books, but
Right,
we'll
right.
see. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. And we'll see who else gets added to this prison. I think it'll be an
Mm.
interesting idea, and not just for this series, but how it could connect to everything um, across all this goes.
You bought a physical copy of this, right?
I did, yes.
Which cover did you get?
It's the main one with all the like
This one
cans.
here.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have it
yeah.
beside me, but
There were
yeah.
there were 3 or 4 different variants, and I decided to go with that one as well.
I don't remember if there's any, or if they were all sold out already. They may have already been sold out, and so that's why I stuck with that one. I was like, cool with me.
Yeah, they had a few at mine. I just decided that one looked coolest.
I mean, it is a nice cover though. It's a
Yeah,
really nice cover, so
yeah.
can't complain. But we also got this big giant dragon fight in this with Sardar or whatever Sardar,
Sardong.
whatever his name is, I can't remember. Um, I'm not, like I said, I'm not really
Soldering. I don't know.
whatever it is, Sorrow, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
uh, I absolutely loved the fight there as well. You're saying about, she knew how to write a fight there, and you're 100% right, but the artist, um, David
Oh yeah.
Marquez,
Oh yeah.
also did such a fantastic job with that as well. Very beautifully drawn there as well. I really liked it. Um, and be interesting, I guess, to see where that goes. Especially since they're sort of combining a more mystical side, more magical. That's the word I'm looking for. More magical side of Marvel,
Yep.
um, into the X-Men a little bit. So we don't quite know why they wanted that eye. We just know that they wanted to get that eye, and then they got sidetracked. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. Um, So, what did you think of the scene at the medical center? How'd you feel about all that character building?
Oh, with the little boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was what I found interesting about that is that overall they are trying to represent the X-Men uh, in a way that they are hated again, but this is clearly showing us that they're not hated everywhere.
Yeah.
Because you got this little kid who's um, a big fan, and I think if I'm not mistaken, he also had the mutant gene as well. So that could be why he didn't hate them.
Oh,
But
maybe, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Let me go back to that page.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he had some sort of ability. Or maybe they don't come right out and say it, but he has some kind of
Oh, he's definitely a mutant, low level precog and telepathy. If Xavier's a 10, Harvey X is a 1, maybe less.
yeah. So he yeah, so because he has some kind of precognition that and he warns them of
Mm-hmm.
this thing that we haven't yet seen, but we've heard of at least twice, uh, called the Endling. So while I thought like this was a very what I was getting at with Gil, um, showing the emotional side of the characters, not just in this
Mm-hmm.
scene. This is kind of one of the examples where they, you got this little kid who's dying, and they're doing kind of a make a wish type thing, and
Yeah.
and that's really cool. And then Rogue like really takes his death kind of hard.
Yeah, yeah, she really did. I mean, I'd understand why, because it's it was an accident, with what happened there. But at
Yeah,
the same time, though, if I had any issue with this issue, the main thing about it that kind of like had my head scratching for a moment is like, all right, the whole thing with Rogue is like, why would she let the boy touch her hand, you know?
yeah,
And I didn't quite. I was like, she should know better than to leave her hand out open like that for this to happen.
yeah, yeah.
And so
That was a lot.
that was my
Um,
that's like my like one main issue with this is I was like this the reason for that to happen. I was like is kind of I don't know. I felt it was like a very easy oversight or something. Like I don't quite understand the decision there, but like the fallout of it and how it affected them. You know, like it was all really good character building there, and showing that idea of no mutant left behind,
right.
even if they're all separated, because that's what we're seeing here, right? Because they begin in wherever that some desert state. I don't remember exactly what state it was they began in. Um,
They were in Mexico City.
Here we go.
You're talking about when they fought the dragon.
Yeah, Mexico.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was Mexico City.
right. So they began in Mexico City, and then they traveled all the way to Missouri or Mississippi,
Mississippi.
and then and then Louisiana. So I mean,
Yeah,
we're obviously getting this uh, road trip sort of vibe with this,
yeah, yeah,
with this X team here, and it's interesting that they're sure just showing like even though they're going all across, they care for absolutely everybody.
yeah,
I like that part of it.
yeah,
So.
definitely.
But
Well,
oh, come on.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna go on, saying that also like continuing the character building. I thought is absolutely great what we got around the campfire as well. having especially Wolverine and Rogue kind of go, against each other and how they feel about what to do now. I thought was really good. Obviously, we know Wolverine's gonna stay as an X-Men, but kind of, because we
We'll
see
see.
him.
We'll see.
I was about to say we'll see, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he may have appeared in another title, which seems like it takes place after this. Um, but but this also I think very much sets up the pillars of his own series as well, right? Because his own
Yep.
series ties off directly from X-Men #1, where he leaves.
Right.
But here we may understand more as to why his motivation as to why he's out by himself as well.
Mhm.
And so I'm liking it of how we're having a build up to this, like, in a way too, of like how it's all interconnected too. And with it being interconnected, I really like the Cyclops tie in there as well. Just kind of having them, like, even though they're different X teams, they're still connected together in some way there, and I really like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really what I was gonna say is I'm really optimistic about the way these main titles have gone so far. And by main, I mean like the main, like you've got the X-Men, and then this one, the Uncanny X-Men, um, and then the third one is going to be coming out next month with the Exceptional X-Men. So basically, the three main
Yes.
team titles. Um, I mean, you've got X Force and you've got X Factor coming out this week, but like the three main X Men
Right.
titles, the storytelling so far on both of these has just been awesome. I mean, they're just
Yeah. They're definitely the best two to have come out so far, I think.
Oh, I agree.
Uh,
I agree. Like I was
it's
saying
just,
before we started recording, I'm having a hard time deciding which one of those two I like better.
yeah.
Um,
I think for me, I like the first one a little more, like the main X-Men a little more.
yeah,
But that's only because the main reason why is I didn't have any sort of like main issue for any one of the parts like I did in this one. But like
yeah,
overall, they're still really great reads. Like definitely
yeah,
go check out both this one and the other one. They're
yeah,
they're absolutely great.
yeah.
So
They're both really good. Um,
this one has the
yeah,
character
just
building down really well, I think, though. Gail
yeah,
does
just
such a fantastic job.
absolutely. But yeah, I'm just optimistic in general
Yeah,
for this new era of X-Men, and
yeah.
they've got some really good writers
Open so
hitting these. And
yeah.
man, who is I forgot who is writing Exceptional X-Men. That one is
It was
Eve Ewing.
yes.
Eve Ewing, who is not somebody that I am familiar with.
Me neither. Me neither. Yeah, I'm not familiar with her either. I hope she does a good job. She's bringing a very interesting take, I think, to X-Men, or her version of an X-Men, I think.
Yeah. Well,
So
she is the current writer of Ironheart.
interesting.
That's still going on. And she wrote in 2023. She became the first Black female author of the Black Panther series.
Interesting.
Interesting. So, yeah.
So going back to this issue, I had one other main point I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
That kind of ties in the last bits that we haven't talked about is what exactly do you foresee, if anything, of where this threat from the woods is, whatever this big hand thing is that we got teased, and I'm assuming that's what all those kids are running away from. And I have the sense too that that's may as well be what was whispering in that bonus scene as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't know, man. Your guess is as good as mine. I think that's
That's
going to
fair.
be, at least for Uncanny X-Men, I think it's going to be um, very important.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely the main villain of this first arc, which is going to be interesting because it's all about them helping now, like these mutant teenagers. I assume they're at the end,
Yeah.
and so seeing them come together and stick with the idea of no mutant left behind as we see, and then also figure out what this eye is for. It's a big, as a first issue does, it's a lot of setup with a lot of intrigue to make you want to keep on reading, as well as doing a really good job with it overall.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think at least from this book's standpoint, Gail is going to do an incredible job.
Yeah. I think it's a very promising start for this run. I cannot wait to see where it goes.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. It's going to be a very exciting monthly pull whenever I see that come out. No. Yeah, I don't have anything else to bring up about this. Do you have anything else?
Yep, I don't.
Awesome. Well, like, where can the people find
you?
You
Haven't
at?
already read this issue of Uncanny
Yes.
X-Men #1? You really
Go read it. We each give a thumbs up over it. Where can the people find you at?
Well, usually they can find me doing the live stream thing at Rebel Rock Radio. So you can find me on Twitter there. Or I mean, you can just go to the Rebel Rock Radio bio link, bio.link/Rebel Rock Radio, and see all the links that'll take you to the various socials and Discord and all that good stuff.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining, and I'll see you all next time here in the Dingus Den. Bye! Thank you for watching this video. Before you go, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video. See you next time, here on the Dingus Den.